But let's talk about MCC a little bit. People are a little curious on like where we stand division wise, and like, okay, I thought we were like Division 3. I thought we were NCAA or NCCAA. What is MCCC? So many C's. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the official Emmaus Athletic Podcast. In the nest, I'm your co-host, Shane Douglas, here with Matthew Tomlinson. Matt, what was so funny? You laughing? You like that?
It was good. No, it was funny.
You're just laughing. Cool. Laughing. I gotta show Matt this.
I know.
I'm wearing
for the first time in the Nest podcast history. Shane is wearing an Emmaus shirt.
Yeah, there we go. So be happy. Okay?
I'm very happy.
I showed him right before we recorded, and it was a priceless reaction.
I was like,
it was incredible.
Yeah, it was.
Man, I should have waited. I should have surprised you more. Darn it. Well, I guess we got to go longer with that. Maybe have another board up here of like how many times does Shane wear Emmaus merch?
Never.
Clothing on the podcast. But that's the thing is like you're athletics, you're the assistant men's basketball coach, so you automatically have more merch to wear. They give me polos. You know, I got t-shirts.
We have shirts when we were. I got half t-shirts. The shirts I wear from when we were students.
I know I get the t-shirts, but like the same.
Or
but like you got like
years of working.
This is like nice stuff though. You got nice stuff.
I know, right?
Thank you to our
wonderful donors out there that have donated so graciously to especially our athletics program.
Donate to admissions. Donate to enrollment.
This was donor funded.
We want that. Either way, we would just want to thank you everyone for making us be a part of your day. If it's in the morning, afternoon, or evening, if it's with your family.
Happy Thursday or whatever day it may be. Happy Thursday,
yeah. If it's with your family or just at your work desk or on a car ride home or to work, thank you for giving us that listen, giving us those views, and we appreciate your time on putting in here and the time that we put in to try to give you some good content. So again, thank you everybody. We love you guys. We appreciate your feedback and your love and support.
The funny thing is this episode will come out probably during our game tomorrow.
Oh yeah, no, like right a little bit before, yeah. So as you're watching this, know that you either know the results are already, unless you watch like.
So finish watching this and then turn our game on, please.
How would they watch the game?
They'll go to Faith Baptist Bible College's YouTube page.
There we go.
Or go to Emmaus Athletics Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and follow the link to the video.
So you're good at plugging that stuff. You got to plug it more at the end. I'm going to have you do it this time.
Plug.
With that said, in today's podcast, we're going to recap some of the games from the last week as well as the upcoming
I don't want to
games this week. I do. I don't either.
And then a fun topic that we're going to talk about is the history of the Midwest Christian College Conference that we're a part of. That is their tournament that we're participating in this week.
Yeah, so that's exactly the point. So to talk about the tournament that we will be going into actually today, Thursday. As this episode
in
drops.
1 hour and 58 minutes.
According to 9 o'clock.
O'clock.
Let's not get confused about the timing because we record on Wednesdays. We've talked about this, but moving on. Let's talk about. So if we had a recap, if we had a sentence, a word, a phrase for the last week of Emmaus Athletics, specifically to men's and women's basketball, or even more specific to men's basketball, how would you?
You said a phrase.
A phrase, a word, a saying. How would you just plain and simple?
Yeah. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Oh, really? Wow. I would say my phrase is, I like this. My phrase is heartbreak.
My phrase is
complete heartbreak.
Gassed.
Okay. So I love the different insights we hear. Me as a fan who either watches the live stream in person, you as a coach who gets everything. You see it as like, effort, being in shape, gassed. I see it as, man, so close. Well,
I see that too. I'm being politically correct.
No, that's fine. And I get that.
To be.
I get it, right? So, so tell us about it, Matt. Tell us about it.
Yes, so there's 3 games that we're recapping, 2 men's basketball, 1 women's basketball. Man, tough week.
It was
tough week.
It was a really tough week.
Thursday.
Let's get serious. Turn down the lights a little bit.
So a week ago we played Maranatha, so rematch from earlier in the season. Home game. Their best player was hurt. They had 2 of their top players were out, or one of their top players and one of their rotation players was out, and then one of our starters and then one rotation player and another player were out. So really, it's hard this deep into the semester or the year. It really comes down to what team is the deepest and who's the healthiest. So we had 2 banged up teams playing each other. We should have won the game. We were up 12.
Well, you just spoiled it for everyone.
Well, everyone knows because hopefully they watch and look at.
If they watch this, they know. If they watch it, they should know.
But we were ahead of the game. For 39 minutes and 58 seconds.
Wait, what?
We had the lead for 39 minutes and 58 seconds.
Out of how many total?
40 minutes. Maranatha took the lead with actually it might have been like
You're
it might have been
guy.
a little less, but like it was like under 10 seconds they had the lead for, and that was at the end of the game because we just it really came down to we've really been a one half team as of late. Like we shoot the ball, like we shot the ball so incredibly well. Like all 3 games that we played especially this past week.
Tyler was killing it first half against
right. But then second half rolls around and like it just comes down to, you got, like we keep saying, like you have to play to win. You can't play not to lose. And when there's that pressure on it, because we're a really good team when there's no pressure. But once pressure gets applied to us, then it's like, it's really tough.
Do you feel like, and obviously we don't want to we're not trying to put anyone down or anything, but do you feel like a lot of the guys either get tunnel visioned on the team where it's like they either want to be the guy?
If you look at the first half of our last 3 games compared to the second half, it is that. It is the ball movement is so fluid in the first half, and then the second half rolls around and it stops. Movement stops, ball movement stops, extra passes stop.
Do you think that's because they're scared? Do you think it's because they're selfish?
I mean, it could be a combination of being scared and being tired because, when we really have only really had like 8-7 guys healthy this past couple week, and that it takes a toll when starter or heavy minutes players are out, and so then other guys are filling it in, or the starters that play a lot or have to play even more. Like I think Nash played like 38 minutes both games this week because all the weight was on his shoulders, and that's really hard. And so it was super frustrating and just sad, but at the same time, when you're on the other side of it, how exciting is it? But the one positive thing with that is we'll play them again next Thursday.
Hey,
we'll play Maranatha again in the regional tournament.
Oh yeah,
playing game next Thursday.
So we don't need to talk about that quite yet. But
so we will get another shot at them.
That's cool.
And we should win.
And that one player is still out, correct?
Yes, he's still out. And then moving on, so Saturday we traveled down to Mowbray, Missouri to play Central Christian College of the Bible. Girls had previously beat them at home. We had lost by I think 9, but it's always a tough environment down there. There's so often where you just don't shoot well down there. I have experience in that. But girls, they ended up losing by 16, which was unfortunate. But it all comes down to, which has been kind of, like I said, the Achilles heel of both of our seasons for both of our teams this season has been just scoring the basketball.
And that's very important.
And you have to score more than the other team.
That's like that's the essentials.
So that was unfortunate for them. And then our game, we were up 19 in the first half and we lost by 1.
I know, I saw that.
And so it's just, it's one of those games where it's just such a good reminder of like, okay, that sucks. But where's our identity? Is it in this, is it in this 19 point, I guess technically it was a 20 point swing where we were up 19, lost by 1. But it's like, no, it's like, that is not what defines us. That's not who defines us. Christ, God is who defines us.
Amen.
But also you have to take away all the issues that we really have been things that can be fixed. And it just comes down to the moment of, do you want it or not? Yeah. And you could do this over and over and over and over and over again. And if you don't learn and, in a sense, grow up or move on, it's nothing. But if you can take that and be like, okay, that was awful. I hated that. I don't want that to ever happen again. What must I do now in order for that not to happen? Then that's when, you really see the growth in, moving on from those, but also responding well and not, pouting for, the next 3 games or the next practices. And so it was a very unfortunate week, but there are a lot of really, really good life lessons.
Oh yeah,
that we learned, and and it's like that's the thing too. You have to constantly self-reflect. Wins and losses. I think people naturally you do that when times are tough, when you're losing. but you really need to do that when you're winning. But especially when you're losing, you need to have your mind the right way.
Yeah.
And that's been so important.
And that's great encouragement for young athletes out there. And the thing is not everyone's going to become a professional athlete, but to obviously take what
the percentage is
very low.
Weensy.
But take what you just said there as encouragement moving forward, and knowing that very similar to what we talked about last week on the podcast, but taking it and learning from and growing from your mistakes, from wins, from losses, and applying that into your life off the court, off the field. But got to keep your heads up from the men's and women's teams here at Emmaus for a rough week.
It's tough.
Last week. Can
gotta keep going on.
Talk a little bit more about when it comes. And it doesn't have to be specific to the CCCB game or what do they say about CCCB? What do they call themselves?
Tracy B.
Okay, so doesn't have to be specific to the Tracy B game or the Maranatha game when it came down to the finals minutes and like drawing stuff up. But what is the thought process of if you're down 2, if you're down 1? Because we were down 1 against Maranatha, and you guys drew up a 3-point play, correct?
2-point play.
Was it 2 points? So it was Tyler within.
It was the option of what was open. That's the biggest thing is you have to, in those game 10 situations, you have to have a backup plan and a main plan. So if the main plan's covered, you have the backup plan. If the backup plan, blah blah blah. But
so like for myself and a lot of people who aren't in those huddles, especially at this collegiate level, walk us through. What's the thought? Is it the coach like? Do you and Parker and Dylan have a plan before the game starts, during the game?
Kind of a lot of it comes down to the flow of the game.
Yeah,
because like we talked about
like
with the Super Bowl, like what Mahomes said that if the 49ers had scored a touchdown, they would have gone for 2. Yeah. Just because of like analytics. And I think a lot of it comes down to that. Like if we're shooting the ball really well from 3, sure, we'll go for the win with a 3. But if there's a mismatch or someone that's been really taking advantage of who's been guarding them, then we'll, look at that or try to get that switch into that. Because I think that was a lot of that game was we were trying to find, the matchups into the setting screens to causing switches to get, guys isolated or, a bigger guy on a guard and then attack from there. And so that was really kind of like the drop of the last play was trying to get, a ball screen coming around or an off ball screen coming around with the ball getting lobbed over to our post, who would then toss it out to our guard who was coming around the left side and then had the option to attack or shoot the 3. But the pass didn't get there, unfortunately. So
you're just kind of taking it based off the flow of the game.
But I must say, Nash almost hit that half-court shot that would have sent the game to overtime.
That would have been wild.
I mean, the ball hit the backboard and then hit the front of the rim and then went out.
That was almost it was wild, actually. That was wild.
He had such a good look at that. Like, we can't forget about that.
I did forget about it.
I did too until I was talking about it.
But that's a good point of like, I mean, even if that play didn't get run up, you still had that opportunity with Nash.
And he literally almost hit it.
Yeah.
Which would have been crazy.
That would have been awesome. That would have been wild.
That would have been wild.
Dang. But, okay, so, like, just seeing the flow of the game and then adapting based off of that, and trying to find as best mismatch or even hot hand on your team. And drawing up options for them.
If they have a 6'8" guy that's in the middle, like, you're not going to attack the basket. You might do a pull-up or a floater or more likely shoot a 3. But, it just kind of depends on what's going on.
Mm-hmm. And then do the players have a voice in it? Do they say, give it me? Like if someone was like, give me the ball, coach. Or you can be like, sit down.
You can say whatever you want. But I mean, obviously, like the ultimate decision is, them trusting us and I'm trusting them. So like it, honestly, it comes down to, what is the best option? Mm-hmm. And if someone is feeling it, like, hey, maybe we'll go that way or whatever. So
have you ever had a player who was like, maybe that you drew something up for them or they were part of the play and they're like, don't include me. I don't want it.
That did happen one time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did it end up well or?
I think we
was a final result.
I don't remember because I remember
was this as a coach or as a player.
I remember it was as a player.
Okay.
But we did have one time where it was like we drew up a play for someone. This was a few years ago, and it was like, no, don't draw up the play for me because they're going to guard me a certain way, where they're going to double me, and this guy's going to be open.
Okay. I thought it was more like, I don't want it.
Don't give me the ball. I sub me out, please. I'm going to lock. Yeah, no.
Okay, because I feel like basketball.
That's like movie-esque right there.
It is. I feel like basketball, you have to have like something within your genes to be playing with.
I mean, confidence, man.
That's it. I mean, it's a confident game. Like if you aren't playing with confidence, you're not making a game. I mean, you're not playing well in the game because I think of so many people who came through Emmaus or even just knowing like back in high school that in practice. Dogs, killers.
And the game, the lights are too bright and you're in the headlights.
Yeah, doesn't even matter. It's the first, second First shot of the game, like it's too nervous. You
and
can't.
I think it really comes down to mindset too, because like, it doesn't, I mean, obviously your mindset's great if you make it, but if you don't make it, how are you going to respond?
Exactly.
Because I think, we missed a game winner against Moody, the one against Maranatha. We missed a couple game winners this year.
Yeah.
And we've had opportunities to do that. And throughout the years, I mean, I had a chance to win a game one year, but I missed it.
Yeah.
And so like, it just comes down to.
Have you ever made one?
A game winner?
Yeah.
No. I know, sad.
Sorry to make you relive this.
I mean, there was one game my senior year where I had free throws that sealed it. But like as far as the game, I mean, this is super off topic, but this would have been my junior year, or was it senior year? No, it was junior year.
You get confused.
So it was your freshman year. Dude, the years all run together. So it was your freshman year.
Yeah.
That season, we had, I think it was like 5 game winners. Because Angelo hit a game winner. Caleb Postman hit a game winner against Ozark when we were down 20, and he hit 3 at the buzzer. Nathan Davidson had a putback at the buzzer against
Angelo's was a putback,
Tracy
right?
B. Angelo's was a putback against Moody. Stevie
during-
Horan hit a game winner against Calvary.
We rushed the court after the Moody game.
We did rush the court after the Moody game. That was awesome.
But then, are you just saying all those?
Yeah. So we've had like game winners in the past,
and it's been the
really
opposite
cool
this year in a way.
Yeah, kind of been the opposite of like.
So I didn't see the final. I saw the final result, and I watched a little bit of the game against Tracy B. But you lost by 1. We lost by 1.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Was it them or was it us or just no gameplay?
As far as what?
As far as like the final seconds of the game.
Oh, Tyler hit a 3 at the buzzer to go from 4 to 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we had a chance we were down 2.
So they fouled him.
And then we missed the shot, and then they got it, made both free throws, and we drilled down and hit a 3 to take it within 1.
Okay.
So if it was like one of those things where this would have been on the Bad Beats episode on Sports Center because the plus minus or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the game, but
okay. Fair
yeah.
enough.
So.
Okay. That's heartbreaking stuff.
It is.
So I feel like the Emmaus our Emmaus men's team specifically is set up for maybe a game winner or 2 in the next couple weeks.
You never know.
That'd be awesome.
Tournament time, anything can happen, honestly.
So moving to tournament play, we're in the MCCC tournament.
Yes.
This weekend
in Ankeny, Iowa.
Leaving Wednesday.
Yep. So we're already on the road, so I'm not here.
Like we talked about. So the game is Thursday at 11 a.m.
Yep.
against
Ozark. So we're the 7 seed. So we're the bottom seed playing the 2 seed. Okay. And then lose, we play winner loser of Central and Calvary.
Now walk our audience through Ozark as a team and just quickly and our record against them this year as well as like the gameplay.
Yeah, so we've lost both games against Ozark. About 20-point games, both of them. They're number 2 seed, so they're such a good team. They're missing 2 of their better players.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean they're a very well coached team. They're 9-3 in the conference this year.
Yeah.
So like that's really impressive. So it's gonna be a dogfight, but
who else beat them? Because Manhattan beat them twice.
Central or Calvary. No, Central beat them, and then Manhattan beat them twice.
Manhattan twice.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
So we got tough opponent.
Yep, tough opponent.
Either way.
Yep.
Either way, we just moving on. We're gonna always be playing.
Yep. So win lose, we'll play sometime on Friday.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
And then the girls play at 5 today. They play the host team, Faith, who they split with this year.
Okay. Cool.
And so yeah.
And that's gonna be a very interesting game. Mm-hmm. It's always great when we can play Faith 3 times.
I know, right?
In a season. That's like
it's always like because they say it's always hard to beat a team 3 times when you lose, but it's like when you split 1-1, it's like no holds barred. Anything can happen.
And the thing is you play everyone. You play not everyone, but you play someone.
You'll play someone a
3
third time. Yeah.
And
guaranteed.
I feel like when it comes to Faith, more than any of the other schools at MCCC,
you might play 2 people 3 times. Yeah.
CCC. Faith is like if we had divisions, it's like if the Cowboys played the Eagles in the playoffs.
Yes.
Interdivision
game, yeah.
Interdivision. Mm-hmm. Like Faith is our division. It's just us 2. That's how we feel.
And it's nice that the region's all different this year because sometimes we might play a team a 4th time.
Hey, fair enough.
Which we did actually the year that we won regionals. We played Faith 4 times that year.
That's wild.
We lost both games in the regular season and won both games in the postseason.
Oh, 1. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd take that any day. I'd take that any day.
0-2 in the regular season, 2-0 in the postseason.
That is nice. Okay, so but tournament play. So looking forward to this weekend. Got a bunch of games.
Yeah.
Women's
a lot of weird hour games. Too,
yeah,
like,
women's favorite. Who's the women's favorite to win?
well, Ozark's the 1 seed.
Okay,
So for women, and Manhattan's the 1 seed for men. So
how far away is Ozark from the rest of the competition? Is it pretty? Is there a gap or?
I mean, there have been some close games, but they're really good.
Okay,
and they've won the last 2 years, I think.
And then okay, crazy.
Or 3 years.
3
years, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Manhattan though. What about them for men's?
Okay, so their seniors have lost like 3 conference games in 4 years.
That's. Let's take them down.
Yep. So they're the 1 seed. So they have the bye into the semifinals, and they play the winner of Barclay and Faith.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, hope to see them in
a fun
the
tournament. So
hope the Cinderella story, baby. Let's go. I'm all for it. I'm all for the March Madness.
The regional year was Cinderella story. So
I'm all for it. Was true. I'm all for the March Madness for the NCCAA. I don't think it would work out for MCCC. But let's talk about MCC a little bit. People are a little curious on like where we stand division wise, and like, okay, I thought we were like Division 3. I thought we were NCAA or NCCAA. What is MCCC? So many C's.
There's lots and lots and lots of C's.
Can you explain? What are you looking at?
Yes. So if you can see the 2 down here is the NCCAA, so the National Christian College Athletic Association.
Which associates how many schools? Like 60 plus?
About 100. About 100 schools. There's 2 levels. There's Division 1 and there's Division 2. We're in Division 2. So a lot of Division 1 teams are also dual affiliated in NAIA.
So what are some well-known Division 2 teams? You got Bob Jones.
Yeah, so Division 2, some
Christian.
are D3. So D2 and NCCAA, it's kind of get confusing because you're like, okay, explain. Yeah, so like Bob Jones, Pensacola, Crown College, Toccoa Falls, Manhattan.
Is Judson D1?
Judson is D1.
Okay.
So like a Cedarville or a Judson or Grace College in Indiana.
Didn't Liberty used to be D1 and then they moved to
D1?
Actual
maybe.
D1.
Potentially.
But a lot of the people who are in the NCAA, the bottom NCCAA, D2 are also Division 3 in the NCAA.
Yes.
Right. So you got the Christian version D2, the non-Christian version
C for Christian.
D3. So we play a lot of D3 schools because we are around the same level.
Yeah. So it really comes down to scholarship money.
Yeah.
So D1 in the NCCAA can do athletic scholarships.
Yes.
D2 does not do athletic scholarships.
No. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the D1 schools are usually NAIA.
Yes.
In the Christian version.
Yes.
But have you seen any of them be like NCAA D2, D1 as well?
No one D1. That's not allowed. I don't think there's anyone that's D2.
Okay.
Because they would destroy everyone, but because it's a higher level. I do think there are.
Who would destroy who?
D2 would destroy NAIA. In some senses, I do. But there are a few D3 teams that are in D1.
Okay.
Which is interesting. Yeah, it's just like you're like, what's going on? But yeah,
it's a lot.
It is a lot going on.
So we are associated with the NCCAA.
Yeah, which is our umbrella. But then we're also in the MCCC, so the Midwestern Christian College Conference, which has 7 schools right now, and all 7 of those schools are a part of the MCCAA.
Which the schools that founded this conference, the first schools to enter was Manhattan Christian College, Calvary Christian College, who else was it? CCCB.
It was CCCB, and then Covenant College when they were located in St. Louis.
Yes, and then Covenant College moved to Georgia.
Yep.
We still have 3 of the 4 remaining.
3 of the founders.
3 of the founders still remaining.
Yep. So 1962 is when it started, and so there are currently 7. There have been 13 total members.
Yes.
So right now, as it stands, there's Barclay College, there's Manhattan College, Christian College, There's Calvary University, there's Central Christian College of the Bible, there's Faith Baptist Bible College, there's Emmaus Bible College, and there's Ozark Christian College.
Yes.
So those are the 7 teams.
7
teams because there's St. Louis isn't a team anymore. There's 7 teams in Kansas, Missouri, and Iowa.
Yeah.
And so, but there have been a total of 13 teams throughout the years. There was St. Louis Christian. There was Central Bible College, which is now Evangel University. And then there was Covenant College, obviously, Grace University, Nebraska Christian, and Bernard College. And so Covenant left when they moved. Evangel left when they jumped up a level because I believe they're NAIA now.
Yeah.
But then the other 4, they closed, and then that's when they left.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's some history of MCCC, and we wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit about like what MCCC is, the standards of it, and
kind of talk about their statements. And
yeah,
whatnot.
so like talk about the statement.
Yeah, so this is the MCCC's statement. What they look for in colleges that represent them. The underlying and sustaining philosophy of the Midwest Christian College Conference is commitment to the development and demonstration of Christ-likeness through athletic participation and competition within the context of Bible colleges whose mission include the preparation of students for Christian leadership. Recognizing that biblical truth is fundamental to all of life, the conference seeks to investigate biblical principles into athletic programs. Athletic participation is seen as an integral demonstration of the member college's total education program and is intended to enhance the education of the whole person, physical, spiritual, intellectual, emotional, and social. That's a lot.
Yeah.
The conference challenges each member, so each school, of the athletic community to see himself or herself both on and off the court or field as an ambassador of Jesus Christ and the college represented. As Christ's ambassadors, qualities such as integrity, self-control, respect, fairness, kindness, and consideration toward opponents, teammates, coaches, officials, and fans are essential. Blah, 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 blah. The conference is dedicated to the highest ideals of athletic competition and sportsmanship.
Sounds like you're about to you're just reading this before the game, and then you're about to sing a national anthem.
Oh, yeah.
So yes. Either way, so they're pretty picky.
They are
about
picky.
They really want good fellowship. They want a good community within here, which we love, we appreciate, which is exactly where we stand as well. Yes. And we talk about these teams, these schools that have left either because of them dying or moving on. And honestly, there's a lot of teams that have moved on or even have tried to join the MCCC in the past and haven't been let in because they do not fit these standards of Christian character. And what you have like all those things that they want to enhance,
Yes. So like 2014 was my freshman year at Emmaus, which was our probation year because we left, or we were still part of the ACCA, but we wanted to join the MCCC. And so we were put on probation because we were treated as a conference member.
Yeah.
We played games as if we were in the conference, but with the understanding that, if we did things that other teams didn't like, or we didn't, show any of these things, then we wouldn't have been accepted. And so we were accepted the next year. So 2014 was our first year. 2015 was our official year. Yeah. But yes, there have been some schools that have asked to join and have gone through that year and have been turned away because they did not fit the ideals of what the MCCC wants to.
You mentioned what's that? What was our conference before?
It was like I don't know.
Are they still alive?
There was an old conference like way back in the day when like Justin Smith played and was the AD. That it was like the National Bible College, the NHBC or something like that. That was way back in the day.
Are they still alive or no?
I don't think so. No.
So a lot of them had just like kind of been merged
into,
like,
to things. Yeah.
Other bigger conferences like NCCAA, which is growing.
Because like
this conference is growing so fast.
Has grown a lot.
Really
it's kind
nice.
of absorbed a lot of what has happened.
Super nice. Yeah, I love to see them grow. But for MCCC, very casual, very laid back, and
kind of looking at the years that you think about it. So 1962 was the first year they had men's basketball, which was the year they founded. So that was the first sport.
Yeah.
1977 is when they added volleyball as an official conference sport. 1989 was women's basketball.
And the year after
then 1990 was soccer.
Yeah.
And so like it's interesting because like obviously, we had all three sports. We had club soccer and we had club volleyball for years, but it was never an official sport.
Yeah.
Until we joined the NCCAA.
Yeah, and it's really cool to like see the schools that our current schools on here because when like talking to students or just knowing like good Christian schools out there, I can trust a lot of these schools and the biblical teaching and the principles that these institutions fall on, right? And everything. What's really cool is that all these schools really have like their thing that goes with it. We know like Emmaus having our thing of the double major as well as like the Bible being emphasized,
being confessional in our in our acceptance.
Because the lowest credit you will get with Bible is 31 credits required credits, and that's with business. Every other major is 40 plus. So we emphasize the Bible here, right? And this isn't a pitch towards Emmaus, but it's really cool that we have a lot of these schools that are very similar in the ideology of teaching the Bible and everything. And we see that on the field with a lot of sportsmanship too.
Yeah, there's like we always talk about, like, yeah. I mean, we have talked about this in previous episodes of like schools that we, associate well with, or we play well against because we know where they're at, they know where we are at, and we get to enjoy, as we say, we get to worship together.
It's true.
Out on the field.
I remember, like,
court.
For soccer, we would meet up with Calvary before we play them. And we would just have worship in the mornings. They would meet us at our hotels. Yeah. We'd go to like a gazebo outside or around the swimming pool, hot tub, and just praise the Lord together. And the best thing is you can
do that and still be competitive and still love one another.
Because it's at the end of the day, it's like the result of the match isn't what matters.
You have an Emmaus shirt. I have a whatever school shirt it is. We play 90 minutes, 40 minutes, 5 matches, whatever it may be. And then it's over. And then we're still in the same team because we're brothers and sisters in Christ.
So remembering that each day, no matter who you're playing against when it comes to, Christian athletics or even just being a Christian athletics, it doesn't really matter the result of the game. Of course, you want to win. You want to be successful in that area. You want to put your best foot forward. But glorifying and honoring our Lord on the field and off the field.
Because I think of like last year, when we played Grinnell in that game, after the game, one of their players who was a Christian came over and said, "Hey man, like I know you guys pray after game. Can we pray together?" It was just us and him. And like,
even though he just put up like 20 points.
Yeah, right. But it was just so cool to see that because like, like you said, like wherever you are as a Christian athlete, it's different.
It's true.
Whether or not your school is a Christian school, a secular school, a private school, a public school, like it doesn't matter.
We stand out.
You represent Christ.
We stand out and you see it everywhere.
We should stand out and we do stand out.
It's true.
Yes.
But some other cool history of this, like what's really cool, we love MCCC. I'm going to start saying that. So shout out to MCCC and everybody who's a part of it and has been a part of it from the beginning and continue to be a part of this conference. We got to update that website, man. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to throw hate out there, but oh my goodness, we got to like, let's keep track of the stats. Let's keep track of the history. They've done a decent job with basketball. So we have like the basketball history of, all the teams that have been
up
in
until
there.
Like a few years ago.
Yeah, it's true. They stopped in 2018. Goodness gracious. So we had to track down some stuff. But Emmaus, we are the babies. That's the thing. You guys got to listen to this.
We are the newest member of the conference.
The newest member of the conference.
So you think about it. Three schools have been in the conference since 1962.
Yeah.
And we've been in the conference this is our, 9th year. Yeah. Going on 10 years this upcoming season.
And the thing is so it's, we've had ups and downs, but through it all, we're still growing. Yeah, we're growing our athletics, and you've heard us talk about this. Is our athletics has been growing a lot within the last year and a half. Finally, having like a full athletic staff that is committed and all like-minded.
It's so exciting.
But with that said, we don't have much. We don't have much when it comes to our awards. Volleyball has done really well. How many conference championships do we have?
So volleyball has won 2 conference championships. Yeah, women's basketball has won 4, and men's soccer has won 1.
Yeah, and then our men's basketball team has won 1 regular season
champion, but not a tournament. We've won 7 total tournament champions.
Yeah. So within that, a lot of them have also won tournament.
That one.
Yeah. So within that as well, like the volleyball team has won regular champions a couple times. Volleyball.
Everyone has won
a regular season championship. But still waiting for that basketball. Come on, man. This year is the year. Maybe. I don't know. But what's really cool and what I noticed is Grace Christian out in Omaha.
And rest in peace.
Yeah. Died a couple years ago. A lot of it was money situation, but just, growing too fast.
They grew too much. They added too many things.
And they kind of, they're a good school. They had good core values, but just brought in too many athletic sports.
I would say prior to them leaving the MCCC, Grace and Emmaus were very similar.
Yeah, and that's why we have that scholarship.
Yeah, because we do have a Grace alumni scholarship for students that graduate from Grace. The parents that graduate, if they send their kid to Emmaus, there is an alumni scholarship out there. Because back then, we considered each other like almost equals because it was so similar. It wasn't until they started adding a bunch of things like football, baseball, whatever. Yeah, and which they have publicly said like that's kind of what affected the school a lot, the community, culture. And that's eventually why they ran into some financial issues, and that's eventually why they shut down.
You see like another school more recent with Trinity in Chicago, and how they just said, shut everything down, focused on the Bible. Yeah. So sad stuff. It really is super sad. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of students lost their homes, and didn't know their direction, right? And we were praying for Trinity and a lot of that stuff.
That we're we're not of this world. We're just sojourners in here.
It's true. Hey, dude. Amen, man. But with that said, Grace, within men's and women's basketball, had a combined of 21 tournament championships in their years when they joined, I think late 60s.
Late 60s, wow.
So, but Manhattan just passed that.
They just did, wow.
They just passed it with 22 with men and women's basketball.
Just with both basketball combined.
Because they have 15 men's basketball championships, tournament championships, and then they have 7 girls. So but the thing is, keep in mind, Manhattan joined in 62.
So they've won almost a fifth of all.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
They're the Patriots, but Grace is Grace is the Patriots.
49ers.
They got the Grace. You got the Patriots, 49ers.
Or the Steelers,
you got the Chiefs,
right? Because Steelers have 6, 49ers.
Well, but who's going to be the Chiefs? Who's growing, right?
Oh man, that's a tough one. We'll find out.
Maybe us. But no, yeah. So Manhattan has really ran away with that. Calvary joined in 62, like we said. They have 8
founding members.
Yeah, 8 men's basketball tournament championships and then 1 women's.
Okay.
This is what is recorded. And if you're going to hate on us,
send us the accurate information.
Yeah, please, because the website is just not really updated. and if whoever's listening has a say or influence in that area,
help, please.
Let's do it. Like, even team up with us, we can help a little bit, right? Barclay joined roughly around 72. Okay. That was their first championship or
that was when they were called Friends Bible College, right?
Yes.
And then they changed their name later to Barclay.
Yeah, so they have 3 men's and 0 women's.
Okay.
And then Ozark, 66 roughly. They have 7 men's and then I believe 8 women's. Yeah, they have 8 women's. So Ozark women
one thing I
taking
love about
it.
this is if you look at all the teams that have been a part of the conference, only 2 teams, I guess us, 3 teams counting us, have had the same name. Everyone has changed their name at least once. Manhattan Christian. They were Manhattan Bible College. They're now Manhattan Christian College.
Okay, so we're not counting them.
Yeah,
so
Central Christian College of the Bible.
But we joined in 14, dude.
Yeah,
so
but still,
we changed our name.
But I think that's the kind of the cool thing you see of schools at our level, like the amount of times that people have moved. Like you saw Covenant was in California, moved to St. Louis, then moved to Georgia, or Faith moving from Omaha to Des Moines, or us moving from Toronto to Oak Park, Chicago to Butte.
A lot of movement.
And so you just see that very common amongst schools at our level.
Yeah, just moving around, going to the best spots. And we were talking about that earlier. But either way, Emmaus 1 regular season for men's, and then 4 for women's basketball, and then Faith 7 for men, 1 for women, and then CCCB 1 regular season championship, and then 1 women's tournament championship. But like I said, everyone was in the 60s, excluding Barclay. Barclay's joining, early 70s. But us, 2014. So we're very small on that totem pole, but the thing is we've just joined.
Yep.
We have just joined and we've just got a staff, right? This is the new
Which is
generation.
Kind of exciting.
So it is exciting. Yeah. So it's it sucks to see not a lot of numbers within those 2 areas, but also
but knowing the numbers for the short time we've been a part of it.
Well, we got 7 tournament championships already within 10 years.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
That's really cool. That's
is.
Total combined,
Yeah.
So I mean, with that said, we're growing even and what's the saying? It's it's better on the other side, or I don't know.
It's a marathon?
No, not even a marathon. I mean, yeah, it is. But
it is a marathon.
The grass is greener on the other side, and we're
sometimes it is.
We're just
sometimes
getting
it's
there.
not. You never know. Yeah.
But we're just getting there.
We're just getting there.
So, either way, everyone, thank you for listening to us today. Ramble about probably stuff you don't really care about with all of our.
But now you know a little bit about the athletics history. We'll in a future episode we'll talk about the NCCAA and the history of that. But we wanted to share about the MCCC because, like we say, so many people are like, "Okay, what's the difference between this and that?" And there's so many C's and what's going on. But here's a little history of our small Christian college conference that we're thankful to be a part of.
Mm-hmm. MCC is a little bubble over here, while the NCCAA is has more of a tournament play that you had to work your way up into. So, but either way, we're thankful for the NCCC. We're thankful for all the other partnerships that we have, and we're thankful for you guys for listening. So thanks for listening. Please, take a part of helping our school, even if that's just listening to this podcast, listening to sharing it, listening to Concerning Him and the other podcasts that we have out there.
Concerning Him episodes recently.
keeping up with our admissions page. We got a lot of fun, creative posts that are going out there.
We really do.
Our Emmaus Instagram page, Facebook, everything else, all the above, YouTube. So please check us out. Please stay involved. For alums, stay involved, stay connected. Reach out, talk to us. We'll give you a shout out. Shout out to Ron Allen. He's always listening to the podcast. Love that dude. Emmanuel Delgado. He also told me that he listens. So that's cool, right? And Stevie. Stevie was listening the other day as well. So love you, Stevie.
Appreciate the love and the support.
So either way, thank you everyone for listening. Like, share, subscribe, whatever. Do all of the above. And Matt, let them know.
It's a great day to be an Emmaus Eagle.
Have a great day.